The year is 2042, and humanity stands on the brink of a unique scientific breakthrough that will forever change the course of history, thanks to the efforts of brilliant scientists in unlocking the mysteries of time travel. In a momentous feat, they have devised a way to journey into the past, armed to safeguard the world's future by eliminating potential threats before they even arise. In 1988, three seemingly unrelated individuals, a keyboardist, a chef, and a bus driver, died under similar mysterious circumstances in Philadelphia. While preparing dinner for his pregnant wife, Officer Thomas Lockhart learns of the peculiar incidents. He receives a call from his partner, Maddox, and then leaves the house. Tommy joins Maddox in the car, and they drive to the scene of the bus driver's demise. At the crime scene, Lockhart's intuition detects something amiss and discovers puncture wounds on the victim's neck. Two more identical deaths occur across town, and Tommy insists on assisting in the investigation against the wishes of his brother-in-law and detective, Holt. Undeterred, Tommy and Maddox continue their investigation and discover the victims were injected with an unknown, deadly isotope machine. The nature of the case piques Tommy's curiosity. But Maddox remains indifferent, attributing his partner's enthusiasm to the fact that he's yet to be a father, and once his baby arrives, his focus will be on her. Later that day, Tommy and Maddox are in the car when they receive another report about an assault on a young woman in her late teens. The officer from the unit informs them that the victim has a mark on her neck, but surprisingly, she is still alive. They rush to the club where the incident occurred, and Tommy carefully examines the mark on the victim's neck to confirm its authenticity. He then gently urges her to recount what happened. The young woman explains that she was dancing when she was suddenly attacked by a black woman wearing a blue hoodie. Though the security staff intervened and pulled the assailant away, it was too late. The attacker had already injected something into her neck using a mysterious device. Before Tommy can proceed with the questioning, Detective Holt arrives at the scene and instructs Tommy to step aside while he begins his round of questioning. At this point, blood begins to gush from the victim's mouth, nose, and ears, and she succumbs to the same fate as the previous victims. The police immediately searched for a black woman matching the description given by the deceased victim. Several black women wearing blue hoodies are inspected, but none fit the description. After an intense search, Tommy and Maddox spot the woman as she accidentally bumps into their car. Determined to apprehend her, they embark on a high-speed chase. The woman takes cover in a subway station at a nearby supermarket, and Tommy continues the pursuit. At the same time, Maddox positions himself inside the supermarket to intercept her if she tries to escape. While Tommy is inside the subway station, waiting for the perfect opportunity to corner the woman, an officer sends an urgent message to his phone, informing him of his wife going into labor. The message demands his immediate attention, but he is not there. Unknown to Tommy, the woman manages to sneak out of the subway station and re-enter the supermarket, but Maddox is prepared and catches her. He alerts Tommy of her presence and engages in a fierce struggle with her. However, the woman proves formidable, overpowering Maddox and inflicting a severe injury by breaking his leg. Tommy arrives on the scene just in time to resume the pursuit as the situation becomes dire. He quickly catches up to the woman and points his gun at her, demanding that she surrender. However, instead of complying, she shocks Tommy by addressing him by name and offering unexpected congratulations on the birth of his daughter while also consoling him of the loss of his wife. These revelations leave Tommy momentarily disoriented and confused. Seizing the opportunity, the woman knocks the gun out of Tommy's hand, initiating a fierce physical confrontation between the two. Amid the intense struggle, the woman manages to handcuff one of Tommy's hands to a nearby chair and wants to escape, saying she will see him soon. But Tommy uses a laser he carries to weaken the woman, causing her to falter. At that moment, a passing train rumbles, and the woman, still standing on the railway, is crushed to death by the train. The police swiftly secure the woman's lifeless body and transport it to the coroner's office for further examination. During the autopsy, the coroner discovers a bullet lodged in one of her arms, adding another layer of mystery to the perplexing case. Still reeling from the intense encounter, Tommy steps outside the supermarket, where one of his colleagues informs him about his wife's condition. He rushes to the hospital and arrives just as his wife enters labor. Unfortunately, his wife didn't survive the delivery, but the baby exists. 9 years later, Tommy has risen to the rank of detective, while his daughter, Amy, has turned 9 years old. Since it's Amy's birthday, Tommy promises to take her to the zoo after visiting his wife's grave. However, as they are about to leave the cemetery, Tommy's phone rings, interrupting their plans. On answering the call, he learns that another strange occurrence has occurred. He quickly drives to the accident scene, where Maddox, now a detective, is waiting for him. As they investigate the scene, They find it eerily similar to the incidents from 9 years ago, the victim bleeding from the mouth and nose with 3 marks on their neck. Perplexed, they wonder how this new perpetrator obtained the same deadly poison used before. Holt, now a lieutenant, joins them at the scene, and the 3 detectives deliberate on who might be responsible for this chilling replication. During their investigation, a fellow officer draws their attention to the CCTV footage, revealing a woman who looks identical to the one from 9 years ago. The rest of the team believes it to be a copycat, but Tommy has a different intuition. He believes it's the same woman returning. Back at the station, Tommy checks the evidence collected from the mysterious woman's body 9 years ago, hoping to find a clue to illuminate this puzzling case. In the process, he comes across a bunch of keys. Maddox joins him as he sifts through the evidence, and Tommy confides in him about the cryptic messages the woman gave him 9 years ago about Amy and his wife, claiming that they would meet again. Tommy decides to reopen the long-closed case, which had remained dormant since that fateful night when no more bodies were found. Tommy orders an officer to dig into any available information regarding the keys. As they analyze the evidence at the station, Maddox compares the woman's characteristics from 9 years ago to the recent one, concluding that they share no apparent similarities. However, Tommy points out a crucial detail: both women bear an injury on their hands. He reasons that if the new perpetrator were a mere copycat, they wouldn't have known about this specific injury detail from the past case. Maddox tries to persuade Tommy that the information might have leaked over the years, but Tommy refuses to believe it. Just then, the officer tasked with investigating the keys enters the room, providing a crucial lead. The key belongs to an aircraft manufactured in 1996, while the woman had it in her possession back in 1988. Maddox suggests the possibility of it being a prototype, but Tommy dismisses the idea, convinced there's more to uncover. The officer adds that the aircraft model is so rare that only one airfield is known to have it. Tommy leaves the station with Maddox, entrusting the care of a sleeping Amy to the female officer with a promise to take her to the zoo again. Just as they are about to step out, the officer informs Tommy of a call from Dr. Naveen Rao. Upon stepping outside, they are greeted by the doctor, who attempts to share his findings about the mysterious woman. Dr. Rao reveals that she appears during a rare celestial event known as a supermoon, with 9-year intervals between her appearances. However, Tommy and Maddox remain skeptical and dismissive, refusing to believe such extraordinary claims as they walk away. When Tommy and Maddox reach the airfield, they find it securely fenced and locked. Despite Maddox's attempts to dissuade him, Tommy's determination drives him to climb over the barbed wire fence. At the airfield building, Tommy encounters a man seated behind a desk. He introduces himself and presents the man with a picture of the mysterious woman, inquiring if he has seen her. The man denies any knowledge of her presence. Detecting some reluctance in the man's response, Tommy resorts to written communication on paper, trying to extract more information. He asks if anyone else is present and, if so, where they might be hiding. As the man draws an arrow to indicate where the person is hiding, Tommy instinctively reaches for his gun, preparing to confront the potential threat. To his astonishment, the mysterious woman from 9 years ago emerges from her hiding place and holds Tommy at gunpoint. Commanding Tommy to sit down, the woman orders the man to tape his wrists. In a moment of quick thinking, Tommy dials Maddox's number. Maddox answers the call, only to hear the woman's voice on the other end. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Maddox immediately alerts the police, triggering the sirens to wail outside. The mysterious woman demands the key to the plane at the airfield. As he hands her the key, the man tries to be clever and quickly pulls out a gun, but she outmaneuvers him and knocks him down effortlessly. She also destroys Tommy's phone to prevent further communication. While the commotion ensues, Maddox rushes to help his partner, but the woman shoots him down. As the police close in, she escapes with Tommy, dragging him onto the airplane. Amid their airborne journey, the woman reveals her motivations for the killings to Tommy. She claims her actions are driven by a higher purpose, saving people's lives. She explains that she appears every 9 years during the moon's setting but cannot stay for long. Still trying to comprehend the situation, Tommy presses for more information about her and her mission. However, the woman remains guarded and warns Tommy that knowing more about her could drive him to eliminate her, a decision that could have grave consequences for him. The woman offers him a way out, to stop pursuing her and return to his normal life. However, Tommy refuses to accept this proposition. The woman then takes a drastic step by throwing him out of the plane into the vast ocean below, leaving him stranded and isolated in the dark waters. Subsequently, she crashes the plane. 9 years have passed since Tommy's encounter with the mysterious woman, but his obsession with ending her reign of enigmatic justice has only grown stronger. His search for Dr. Rao had been futile. In the dim light of night, we find Tommy digging the grave of Harold Novak. He meticulously photographs the skeletal remains. The next day, Tommy visits Harold Novak's wife at their home. Seeking information about her deceased husband's involvement, Tommy questions her about Harold's activities in the past. The widow reveals that upon returning from a visit to her sister's place, she discovered Harold's lifeless body lying on the floor. As she recounts the shocking discovery, Tommy discovers that Harold was deeply involved in the Real America movement. Intrigued by this revelation, he learns that Harold had been sending letters worldwide, advocating for this cause. The wife gives him Harold's mailing list. During his investigation, Tommy comes across a photograph of Harold standing beside a woman. Inquiring about the woman's identity, Harold's wife reveals that she is his ex-wife and was also involved in the movement. However, she is unaware of her whereabouts and cannot provide Tommy with any leads to follow. As Tommy carefully sifts through the mailing list in his car, he stumbles upon a location that triggers a sense of familiarity. Cross-referencing the information with the files he possesses, he realizes it's the same location where the keyboardist had died back in 1988. Recognizing the significance of this discovery, he immediately dials Holt's number, but it goes to voicemail. Leaving an urgent message, he implores Holt to meet him and run a location check on Harold Novak's ex-wife. On his way to meet with Holt, Tommy decides to pick up his daughter, Amy, from school. She now lives with Holt, and their relationship has suffered due to Tommy's relentless obsession with the mysterious woman. After dropping Amy off, Tommy finally meets Holt at their meeting point. He divulges the information about Harold Novak, revealing that the cause of his death was eerily similar to that of the mysterious woman's victims. Harold was associated with a movement against the U.S. government, and Tommy suspects that the victims from 1997 and those from 1988 were all connected to this movement. Tommy expounds on his belief that the isotope injection used by the mysterious woman is advanced technology designed for remote killing. He firmly asserts that she originates from the future, which explains her ability to survive the train crash in 1988 and reappear 9 years later to continue her killing spree. Holt tries to intervene and reason with Tommy, urging him to abandon this unrealistic pursuit. However, Tommy remains resolute, insisting that the woman must be stopped to prevent more deaths. He implores Holt for assistance in locating Harold's ex-wife, hoping to gather more information that may lead them to the mysterious woman. With the address in hand, Tommy visits Harold's ex-wife's residence but is greeted with a chilling sight, her lifeless body lying on the floor, just like the previous victims. His instincts tell him the mysterious woman might still be close, and he waits, ready to confront her. As she appears, Tommy acts swiftly, shooting her in the arm. However, she manages to escape, and a chase ensues. After several minutes of running, the woman enters a tunnel that leads to a tube-like machine, and she enters the machine before Tommy gets there. Tommy tries to open it, but he's unable to, and she disappears, to his dismay. The scene cuts to reveal Dr. Rao 9 years later, testing the isotope technology he invented on pigs, eliminating them the way the mysterious woman eliminated her victims. Unknown to Tommy, a tracker has been planted at the riverside, where he waits for the appearance of the mysterious woman. After receiving a voicemail from his daughter, Amy, urging him to be present for her delivery at the hospital, Tommy is suddenly abducted by Dr. Rao. Bound and trapped in a car, Tommy confronts Dr. Rao, demanding to know why he's been taken. Rao reveals his connection to the mysterious woman and explains that her mission is to eliminate the leaders of a movement that could cause a revolt in the U.S., thus preventing a greater catastrophe. Tommy disagrees, believing she's killing innocent people. In the ensuing struggle, Tommy breaks free and manages to escape. At the riverside, he confronts the mysterious woman as she reappears from the tube-like machine. Determined to stop her, he points a gun at her, but she reveals a shocking truth: she is his granddaughter from the future. Tommy is taken aback, and she explains that he guided her to take on this job. She shows him a bracelet he bought for Amy's 9th birthday, which she now wears. Overwhelmed with emotion, Tommy apologizes, and she urges him to return home and care for her mother, Amy. The scene cuts to show a glimpse of the future, where the legacy of Dr. Rao's technology begins in the hands of Amy's daughter, using it to eliminate the movement leaders, the bus driver, the chef, the keyboardist, and Harold. Back in the present, Tommy rushes to the hospital to witness the birth of his granddaughter. As he holds the newborn baby in his arms, the movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.